Hello guys, what is up and welcome back to our channel, and boy do we have a surprise for you today. 343 finally did it. They finally came out with a balance patch for Halo Wars 2. So this is a secret patch. It's been dished out at the moment to the private test group, which I am part of. So I've got the patch notes here that we're going to run through. I won't be able to release them until 343 say I can, but it will be before the patch goes live to the public. So this is going to be absolutely amazing insight, and this is an extremely good patch. It fixes a lot of the issues within the game. Not all of them, not all of the broken issues have been fixed, but a lot of them have been fixed, and this new meta is going to be absolutely crazy. It's also going to come along with a brand new season. We've been 8 months in the same season. That's going to be welcomed by everybody. So let's jump right in to the patch, take a look, and see what changes are going to be making. So global first, mines now do 50% less building damage. This is to reduce the amount of damage they do to bunker and turret drops. So later on in the patch there will be a buff to Johnson's bunker, so this is to allow them to do less damage to that bunker to make it more viable within the early game for Johnson. So Jerome's leader, his hero unit, along with time for heroes buffs, would outrun Nerfs units. Yeah, no shit, it was faster than Cutter's Raid 1 and slightly behind Cutter's Raid 2. He had to put 2 points into that. Jerome had to put 1 point into time for heroes, which is you go for anyway. Reducing the unit's base speed to compensate. Hero unit base speed reduced by 20%. Huge nerf. 25% speed from Jerome there. That's going to be absolutely huge. And it's going to be really good. It's going to allow him to be caught a lot easier, not kite your army, and just obliterate everything with that very strong leader on Tech 1. So very good there. Forge as well, another strong hero unit. The reason being, he's on 4 wheels, not 2 legs, so he can drive away, get his shields back, come back, obliterate your army, drive away again. When he loses his shields, come back, obliterate your army, and repeat with the anvil round. So his hero unit is still difficult to kill, so he's getting a nerf to health and shield increases on the tier 2 and 3 upgrades. So he's getting a huge 20% nerf to tier 2 and 3 health and shield. So that's going to be really good and should help us kill Forge. Serina, Frostravens are not very viable at the moment, reducing their cost and cooldown on their ability to help with that. Yeah, okay, so Frostravens probably still aren't going to be very good within the meta compared to her other leader powers, but it is a welcomed buff to Frostravens. 250 over 100 to 200 over 80, and the ability reduced from 45 seconds to 30 seconds of build time. Yeah, so Serina, she's still going to be pretty much at the bottom of the tier when it comes to leaders with that change. Her ice, freeze is still very annoying, but still damage-wise, she's going to be nearer the bottom. Isabel, swapping Lotus mines and heavy metal on the leader power radial to help Isabel in the early game. In addition to this, Mac Blast is receiving a damage buff to make it more viable. So for anybody who doesn't know, Isabel and Arbiter are the 2 strongest late game leaders in the game. And I'm talking like 30 plus minutes into the game when all your leader powers are online and things like that. So helping her early game with these 2 buffs is going to be absolutely amazing for her. It's going to allow her to get to the late game, to the stronger game, and she's going to be very good within this meta. So keep an eye out for Isabel, especially with the Scorpion buffs, which we're going to discuss later on. So Lotus Mines is getting swapped with heavy metal, which means Lotus Mines will be point number 1. So you can use that blindly to ring off resources for yourself, power bundles, and also stop choppers from harassing you and things like that. Mac Blast damage increased by 10%, so Mac Blast was one of the worst 6 o'clock leader powers in the game. That's getting a 10% buff, so that should definitely help her as well. Next change, Captain Cutter. Already one of the strongest leaders in the game, best UNSC by far, extremely strong. He's going to be getting a buff to his hero unit, which we all know the Spartan Laser isn't very good. Only single target shots with that, so he's very good at fighting heroes and vehicles and things like that, but not much against infantry. His impact ring now going to be doing 125% damage, middle ring 9%, up from 75%, third ring added to the AoE that deals 60%. This is an absolutely huge buff for Captain Cutter. With his hero, he's already very strong. This is probably going to break the game for Cutter. He's probably going to be the top leader in the game without a doubt if this goes through. Obviously, this is just the testing phase, by the way. All these patch notes are for the PTR group to test. There's about 10 members in there. We'll be testing these. If something is broken, we'll be flagging that to 343. They're most likely going to change them. So this is like a preliminary patch, a teaser for you guys. And I should hopefully be able to release this video before the actual patch is released, but don't take it as the definite definite patch changes. Some of this will change, not by much, but it will change. So Hell Charge is not a very viable leader power to invest points into at the moment, reworking how its effectiveness and how it's scaled per tier. Effect radius per tier from 15 to 22 to 29 to 20 to 30 to 40, so this means it's going to be getting a bigger effect radius. You can put it on more units and use it. Death Explosion weapon type change to the correct weapon type. This will cause it to be more effective against the correct units. Duration increased by tiers, scale to 25, 40, 55, up from 20 seconds on all tiers. So that means it's going to last longer by 20 seconds. Speed buff increased by tiers, scale to 25%, 30%, 35%, up 15% from all tiers. So 15% speed buff on all tiers. That's good to be very good as well. Damage buff increased by tiers, scale to 30%, 35%, 40%, up from 20, 25, and 30. So another huge buff to the damage buff on Hell Charge. So Hell Charge is going to be really good. It's going to be a strong leader power. I still don't know whether you'll take it over Heat of Battle, Redline, Hell Drop, because they are very good at winning engagements, and also their effects are technically permanent. It's a passive buff for Heat of Battle, and then Redline can become permanent with point number 2. So here we go, Johnson, making bunkers quicker and easier to get out, so Johnson can make use of them easier as they are currently not very viable. So the cooldown on the bunker drop is going to be reduced by 30 seconds, and then digging in now reduces the cooldown of bunker drop by 20 seconds per tier, up from 10 seconds. So you're going to be able to spam bunkers a lot easier. In the original patch notes, they did have a cost reduction on bunkers here, but I guess they reverted against that. So basically, with the man buff, 50% less damage from mines, and you're going to be able to spam bunkers more. It's going to be more viable in the early game, especially with snipers against UNSC, and his hero against Banished. That'll be really good for him in the early game. Protected Sentinels are not a variable option early game. They are getting a price reduction to help with that, and Douglas is getting a nerf to his rocket launcher upgrade as he currently does too much damage. Yeah, he does way too much damage, especially when you're auto cancelling with him. You can wipe out whole armies, and this is one of the reasons his siege is really good. So the siege is really good in general, but when you have Douglas plus siege, Douglas can take out your whole army, providing vision for the Kodiaks, and that's what makes it so strong. So being able to kill him easier, and obviously him doing less damage to your army, will definitely help you get to the back line and kill those Kodiaks before they can get in the masses and just completely dominate. So even though there wasn't a nerf to siege, that's still a very welcomed nerf there. So it's going to be a 10% damage reduction, and the cost on Protect Sentinel is going to be from 215 to 250, so it's not a huge buff to them. I don't see them being used still compared to his other leader points. Vultures, we all wanted base damage nerfs on Vultures. They should have given it at least slightly, but they didn't. They're actually nerfing the Phoenix Missile against anti-air units, creating a new weapon type and upping the cost from 75 to 100. I mean, power cost of 75 to 100 isn't really going to do much in the late game, especially when you're on free full bases, which is generally when you go into Vultures. So don't see this being a big change. Depends how much damage less they do to anti-air vehicles. So we'll see. So here's a huge meta change. So choppers are very dominant within the meta. It's really hard for UNSC to deal with choppers early on, since grenades miss all the time. So this is what they're trying to fix here. So the grenades velocity increased by 60%. That means grenades are going to throw a lot faster, and hopefully hit the choppers a lot easier, and that should help UNSC out in the early game as well. And this is another buff to Cutter. Raid 2 Marines obviously going to be really good. 60% buff to grenades going to be really good. His Spartan going to be huge AoE. He's going to be extremely strong, and Cutter's just going to sort up there. Along with a buff to Scorpions. Cutter has Scorpions. He has one in his ODST Assault group. This is going to be another buff for him. But mainly this is going to affect Isabel a lot. Scorpions are very good, so getting another 5% buff to those Scorpions going to be extremely good for her. Along with her early game, you'll see her soar up the tier list as well. On to the Banished. Voridus. We all hate Voridus. All those dirty Voridus mains out there, you can close your eyes now, because this is not going to be good for you. So they're reverting some of the buffs that he got to the Grenadiers. So originally, they were going to do Marines do more damage. Light Infantry does more damage to Grenadiers, but that still makes their goo and explosions strong. Like, if the Grenadiers are dying faster, then they're just going to explode faster in your army and kill you anyway. So they're going to be reducing the durations of the infusion pools by 15%, and infusion damage versus light infantry reduced by 5%. So Marines are going to have a bit more survivability grunts are going to have more survivability and things like that. Grenadier damage versus light infantry reduced by 20%. This is huge because they got a buff to light infantry before, so this is going to be reverting some of those changes, and they should be more in line and allow you to contest with Foragers more in the early game. Combat spoils obviously still going to be a very good leader power. You just got to utilize it more to make Foragers more viable, but definitely needed those nerfs. Pavium, leader effectiveness isn't great at the moment. Improving the hero units slow and giving him Wraith Invaders earlier to help him in combat. So Wraith Invaders are going to be coming on third point. That's the same point Mastodons come in, the same point you can get Phantoms. But the problem is Wraith Invaders have a huge health bar, a shield, and they siphon on attack. This is going to be extremely strong. Pavium's going to be really strong with this on third point. You're always going to go Wraith Invaders, there's no doubt about it. That's going to be meta for him. Burnout 1, Burnout 2, helping your economy, plus Wraith Invaders can help you get them out faster as well, while also helping your economy. This is just going to be crazy. So we'll see how that falls. Also, his hero unit paint target ability is getting increased from 20%, 40% to 40%, 60%. So almost doubling that, so that's going to help you combo Rain of Fire a lot better. At the moment, the Y ability doesn't really work properly with the slow and the Rain of Fire. People can just run out of it, so we'll see. Now, everybody has a problem with Yap. Yap has been broken for so long, and these changes with the chopper change and this turret change we're about to speak about is just going to completely kill Yap. His late game is going to be still as strong, no doubt about it, but getting there is going to be so difficult for him. Especially against UNSC, if they've got the Spartans, they've got the Grenade Marines, killing the choppers a lot easier, because his only defense at the moment is fodder and choppers. So the choppers are getting nerfed against grenades. He doesn't have suicide grunts, so he won't be able to kill infantry as easier. And now the shade turret drop is getting the stun removed, and it is extremely annoying. I've played against it, I played with it. It's so easy to use and combo on heroes, on armies, with the mine drop wiping everything. Yeah, it's annoying. There's no counterplay to it, especially as UNSC. If you don't have teleport as banished, so it's extremely difficult to play against. But this is going to kill his tech 1. On to Colony now. So Colony is a very strong leader again. Hunter Captain basically getting a 5% health reduction. It's not going to be enough. Like, the problem with Colony is Skitters are too strong. That makes the Hunter Captain strong as well. Goliaths are strong. The taunt for the Hunter Captain, especially on Tech 3, lasts like 15 to 20 seconds. There are all the issues with Colony, and then the self-healing as well is really good. 5% isn't going to do too much because he has the Siphon Overcharge, which is just going to heal him that 5% back anyway. So Colony won't really be touched too much. Shield generators. Shields are hard to break through at the moment when attacking banished bases. Shield amount reduced by 10%. So yeah, it's just a slight nerf to shields. They're quite hard to break through if an army's camping under it. Vultures do a lot of damage against shields, so yeah, a nerf to banish shields are very good, especially with the shield juggling you can do. You can, if your shield's about to go down, you build another shield, recycle your old shield, the shield comes back up immediately. You don't have to wait for that downtime. That's still kind of a micro broken type issue exploit within the game that you can do. So this is going to help combat that somewhat. But not really too bothered about that change, not too effective. Suicide Grunts, currently they stun buildings for a very long time when they attack them. This stops production on the attacked building, so a reduction in the effectiveness is being applied. So this actually came about because of the Johnson bunker. Suicide Grunts run into the Johnson bunker, it stuns it, but you can also stun buildings such as pads and stop the production as well. So they're going to be reducing the stun on buildings by 50%. And I mean, you shouldn't be able to stun buildings anyway, let's be honest. This should have been removed completely. Along with the Warlord should not be able to stun buildings. If you're building a Scarab on a War Council, he can deny it with his hammer. It's pretty annoying, along with the fact he can pull Scarabs and things like that. So there's some other aspects I'd like to get fixed in the game. Pulling Scarabs is just ridiculous for a unit that cost, and then you can stun them as well, so the Warlord is ridiculous. On to the next one, Ghost. They have slow ram speed, so improving their ram effectiveness but not damage. Yeah, when a Ghost rams, it goes all over the joint doing donuts around the map before it actually hits its target. So we're getting acceleration and turn speed increased by 10% to improve the ram effectiveness. Hopefully this will help them. Ghosts with their shields are one of the strongest scouts in the game, and they'll be able to combat the grenades a lot better. Because 2 or 3 grenades will take off the shield and a bit of health, but then if your micro is good, you can pull those ghosts to the back, recharge the shield while the ghosts with shields are fighting the army, and keep doing that over and over, keeping your army alive, fit and healthy. So the grenades won't really affect like Arbiter and Shipmaster there. Shipmaster, by the way, is going to be very good in this meta as well because of the Wraith buffs also. Wraith nerfs, sorry. 1 second, there was something that was going to... I remember reading the previous patch notes, and there was something going to be given to Shipmaster. He was going to be really good. Okay, maybe not. Maybe they removed it. Yeah, just the ghosts. So the acceleration 10 speed by 10% for ghosts. Still going to be very good with Shipmaster's Raid 1 and Raid 2. You can capture nodes of them, so Ghost is going to be a hugely viable option for him and Tech 1. They must have removed the other change, but never mind. And Wraiths going to be getting a Plasma and Scorch Mortar damage reduction by 10% against anti-vehicles only. So against anti-vehicles only. Not going to affect them too much. Scorch really needs reducing against everything. But nonetheless, 10%. A nerf is always welcome for something that is very strong. So overall, guys, this is an extremely good patch. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you're excited as much as I am to actually see this out live. The meta is going to change drastically. You're probably going to see people having to adapt, and might see some new people on top of the ladder, rising up to the top, taking down the big boys, hopefully. So this is a sneak preview for you guys. 343 are going to give me the go-ahead to actually send this video live within the next 24 hours, I believe. As soon as they do that, I'll be sending it live so you can actually view all of this patch, watch the video, and learn about these changes before anybody else. As I said, the patch should probably be live on the retail game in about a week or so. And after this, I will be, as soon as I get my Halo Wars 2 download going, because when we test these patches, by the way, guys, we have to re-download the whole game, and the Microsoft Store isn't very good. I've been downloading the game for almost 24 hours now trying to test this patch, but I will get some videos out, hopefully, of testing these changes and show you exactly how they interact and how they work in the live game before they go live, so you can actually implement that into your play. And also, we'll be testing for any broken stuff like the cutter AoE. That's going to be changed. I can bet my house on it. But for now, it's been a great video for me. Goodbye.